What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Garage. Thanks for joining me for another movie review. This time around, I'm talking about a film that's going to be dropping on Netflix this Friday. It's currently playing in select cities, although it is very hard to find in my market, just so you know. But it's a film called Rustin, directed by George C. Wolfe and starring Colman Domingo. Gay civil rights activist Bayard Rustin helps Martin Luther King Jr. and others organize the 1963 March on Washington. So George C. Wolfe most recently kind of gained fame as a filmmaker with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which of course was Chadwick Boseman's final film where he got nominated for the Academy Award and lost at the last second in a posthumous upset to Sir Anthony Hopkins. In this film, he tackles an historical event that is possibly one of the most important in American history, and it is definitely one of the most important in the civil rights movement here in this country, particularly back in the 1960s. Really what I want to focus on with this movie, Rustin, is the performance of Colman Domingo. It absolutely is Oscar-worthy. It's Oscar caliber. It is the best performance of his career. I know it's a pretty short-lived career at this point. He's done some great things, and he actually has even more great things coming out in the near future, like his supporting turn in The Color Purple, which I've also been predicting him to get for supporting actor. Could he be nominated in 2 categories this year? The problem with the film Rustin, however, is that without that strong performance at the center, the movie is a pretty formulaic biopic. And that's unfortunate considering how important the subject matter here is. Now, to think what went into organizing the 1963 March on Washington with over hundreds of thousands of people descending on the National Mall in D.C. in 1963, no less, before technology, before social media, before the internet, is quite the feat. And this icon, I'll just say, of civil rights, Bayard Rustin, was not someone that I personally was familiar with. Obviously, I know Dr. King, I know his legacy, but I did not know this kind of man behind the curtain, this right-hand man to MLK, if you will. So I absolutely love how he was presented to me in a new light, and it was like I was going through a history lesson in American history all over again. There was a lot of attention paid to his sexuality in the film, too, as he was openly gay. And there's a lot of time devoted to the relationships that he had with different men in the movie, one of which is a prominent pastor that's trying to come up in his church. And it just caused a lot of controversy in different people's lives. It also hurt him and his career because of how people kind of looked down on the gay community back then. Let's be honest, they kind of still do. I don't think it's as bad as it was in the 1960s, but it does show a parallel of what Rustin was going through in his personal life, not only as a black man in the civil rights era, but as a gay man, and how he was trying to fight that battle and be who he was personally. It also kind of showed why he had such a deep-rooted cause in this movement. At the end of the day, Rustin is a good film. I wish it had done something a little different in terms of the biopic kind of storytelling. It kind of went all over the place where it was about the March on Washington. It was about his sexuality. It was about how he came to kind of prominence in D.C. and in that circle with MLK, the friendship that they had together. There were little whispers of things that were hinted at that, again, I didn't know about, so it was hard for me to kind of catch on to until I read up on it later, which, again, I'm glad I did, and I'm glad this movie exists and kind of catapulted that learning experience for me. But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you are someone that respects and likes to watch art in the form of performance and acting, Colman Domingo in this movie is an absolute stunner. I was in awe of his performance here, and I highly recommend anybody that follows awards season check this movie out. It's going to be dropping on Netflix this Friday. I'm going to give Rustin, now look, first of all, Colman Domingo's performance, I'm not even joking, is a 100 out of 100. An absolute, I mean, I've already told you, just a stellar, stellar performance. But the movie and the screenplay don't do him any favors. I'm going to give the movie Rustin out of 100 a 70. It'll be a quick stream, and it'll be a great history lesson on a unsung hero of the civil rights movement. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time in the garage.